and I'm going to discuss the process I went about scanning an object in my apartment in preparation for creating a 3D point cloud of it. So initially for setting up the scanner, I have I 3D printed two parts for this. So I have my rig that has my Raspberry Pi camera down here and my laser right here with an Arduino and Raspberry Pi. And then I bolted this rig to another 3D printed part, which will then be bolted to a tripod. So here you can actually see me putting it together, connecting it to the tripod, powering it, and also taping my phone to it to so that I can scan it and be able to tell the angles from my phone. And the part is a different color here just because I had borrowed this one from a friend because my other one wasn't quite printed yet, but it's the same exact part. And so the first thing that I tried to scan was my a golf bag that I had, but with the light and all the objects around it, I even tried to cover the blinds, but it probably didn't help that I was using a red blanket to do this. But with all the other objects around it, it led to a lot of noise, and I wasn't really getting the cloud that I quite wanted out of it. But this is still showing the general process that I go about scanning different objects as well as just some trial and error that I ran into. So here you can see I'm increasing it 2 degrees at a time. So eventually I settled on this object things can. I kind of set up like a little, um, just a bunch of things on it. So I have these two books here with gaps in between this, and then I have my Xbox, which is just a rectangular shape, and then a Yeti on top of it. I ended up adding this Yeti as I was scanning it because I wanted to make sure that I got 20 positions, um, 20 different positions into my thing. And it also added some more unique geometry. So the whole point of this setup here was just to combine a bunch of different things to see how the LiDAR would react to all of them. And so I just kind of have some books with a certain geometry and gaps between them, and the Xbox, which is a rectangle, and then kind of a cylindrical Yeti. So I thought this would be able to, it would show me a lot about my LiDAR setup and help me learn from it. And then I actually went about scanning the object. For this, the tripod was a lot lower because this is pretty low to the ground. I take my phone to it to be able to tell the angle, turn off the lights, and then I was actually able to increase this one angle at a time because it was a smaller object. But here you can see moving it up. Eventually, it just becomes the Xbox instead of the books. And finally, it scans the Yeti cup, and then there's nothing. So yeah, that's how I went about the scanning process. And then I took these JPEG files and eventually converted them to a 3D point cloud.